Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into a story of profound, total transformation, a personal journey that was documented through a series of incredibly vivid dreams and waking realizations. We're calling it The Great Transit. Okay, let's just start right there. The entire journey kicks off with this incredibly powerful declaration. It's not just that the past is over. It's that the actual road back has been completely dismantled, boarded up with immovable stone. There is absolutely no retreat. The only way is forward. So the first stage of this transit is all about consciously stepping off a vehicle of collective duty and then building a brand new one that's designed for a singular, individual purpose. And the central metaphor here? Wow, it could not be clearer. The dreamer's whole identity shifts from this lumbering bus, carrying the weight and the expectations of everyone else on these fixed, predictable routes, to a personal, high-performance legacy vehicle. It's ready for a totally new kind of acceleration. But here's the twist. This idea of personal abundance isn't built from scratch. It's a reclaimed legacy. The dream reveals that the blueprint for this new vehicle was actually witnessed way back in childhood, a memory of the dreamer's father that had been locked away for years. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. This concept of renovatio. See, the father's annual new car, it wasn't just a purchase, it was a ritual of constant renewal. This childhood memory literally becomes the new operating system, shifting the entire mindset from one of scarcity to this core principle of expected cyclical abundance. And the dream confirms this shift in the most direct way you can imagine. The final scene of this whole first phase ends with the revelation that the dreamer is standing at the National Center for Drag Racing. The message is loud and clear: the slow, scheduled bus route is officially over. So, here's the crucial point. Before this acceleration could really begin, there had to be a series of very conscious goodbyes. The dreamer witnesses the end of an old cycle without interfering, lets the past cry wait without even turning back, and realizes they are no longer auditioning for a role in someone else's show. So, how does this all lead to the next stage? Let's explore the actual construction of this new inner world, a place we're going to call the Sovereign's Warehouse. You can see this distinct evolution of identity, right? The dreamer goes from being this passive participant, auditioning for life, to observing the whole show from a place of authority, and then, finally, to owning the entire warehouse where their new reality is stored and curated. Of course, this new role as owner, it requires new tools. The wrong tool of the bus gets replaced by a powerful new AI agent for clean, fast work, and a forklift for the really heavy lifting of transformation. Both are powerful, but they require very careful supervision. And this just illustrates the change in mindset so brilliantly. The old way of engaging with the world was this defensive struggle, like sword play. The new way? It's playful. It's non-destructive. It's symbolized by just throwing harmless rubber balls from the deck of the office. But this transition isn't without its chaos. A dream shows old pantry shelves just collapsing, a symbol of the old structures of belief totally failing. And yet, even in the middle of all that mess, the core nourishment, the foundational truths, they're easily found. The old system breaks, but the essence remains. Okay, this leads us to what is probably the most intense stage of the entire transit: a deep physical clearing of the past, something the analysis calls a somatic purge. The setting for this final trial is a communal room with these flimsy wooden showers. And these structures, which are meant for purification, are revealed to be clumsily built. They're just not strong enough for the deep cleansing that's about to happen. So here, the dreamer is standing naked, completely vulnerable, and is confronted not by the expected, but by the total other, a mysterious, fully clothed woman. As this happens, the weak structures of purification just collapse. And right there, in the middle of this chaos, the dreamer is seen packing snake lollies, a really potent symbol of shedding an old skin and getting ready for rebirth. And look, this isn't just a mental shift. It's a visceral, physical purge. The dream actually depicts the expulsion of thick, solid red matter from the body, symbolizing the release of a calcified lineage of struggle and old energetic patterns from the very cells of the body. This incredibly intense experience represents the final, necessary death of the old self. This is the mors philosophica, the alchemical end of the sacrificial provider identity. the part that drove the bus for everyone else while keeping its own treasures locked away. And after the fire, after the purge, then comes the arrival. This is the final stage, the embodiment of a new, completely unscripted and sovereign life. This transformation isn't just happening in dreams either. It's being grounded in daily, consistent, physical work. 15,000 steps a day, walking in nature, anchoring that massive inner shift in the real world. In this new state, old mistakes and regrets just lose their power. A dream shows the dreamer filing an incident report for an old accident, only for the manager to basically treat it as totally irrelevant. And at the same time, a red sports car is recovered from the sea, symbolizing stalled passion and velocity being brought back to life. The manifestation is complete. And the key insight here is the shift from a future hope to a present tense physical reality. The mantra is not "I will be," but "I am," a feeling held somatically, right in the heart. The dreamer's inner state has been completely rebuilt. What might have started as a defensive wooden wall of silence has transmuted into an indestructible sanctuary of stone, a place of effortless, focused power. The foundation is finally, truly set. And this leaves us with a final and pretty provocative question. The new self is sovereign, the foundation is stone, the abundance is real, but this new life is totally unscripted. So, what happens when this sovereign self has to navigate the ultimate unscripted arrival? Love that doesn't fit the template. The journey is complete, but the story, well, it's really just beginning.